Alright guys, so this is the radio before I set everything up. One air vent, I'll get the stickers off eventually, was not my biggest problem. So the Type N bulkhead connector for a coax, the other air vent, and the two RJ45 connectors, one for the mic up here, one for the radio head down here. And this is kind of how it would come packed. A couple extra things in here. So this was the original patch cable. Well, I thought it was the original. So Type N here at the bulkhead connector, and then TNC at the other end. And I thought, man, it's been so long since I used this radio, and then maybe even longer since I used it this way. I thought the original box would go under the back seat, and this was the cable that would reach to the antenna patch panel, which I'll show you in a second, or somewhere in this segment later. And then when I originally tested the radio, anyway, I'm not sure I tested it on with the camera rolling or not. I just grabbed some of this 5-foot LMR 400 I had, because when I made the coax for inside the box, I messed up, and then I had to use my last Type N with the RG58 barrel on the end. So I thought I couldn't make another cable that was longer to reach the patch panel out here, so I could maybe sit this on the top of the back seat and not under the back seat. Well, lo and behold, when I went back there, guess what I found? I'd already made one years and years and years ago and just forgot about it, because yeah, I didn't use the radio in so long. So it's nice to know that the LMR 400 fits in here. I'm not sure about fitting a longer length, like a 10-foot cable. I think I've got 5, 10, 15, 25, and 30 maybe. Not 30, definitely 50. So 5, 10, 15, 30, and 50, I think. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's nice to know that the LMR 400 does fit in here, at least a little bit of it. But my intention was just to carry the RG58 size cables, and this is actually RG400, not RG58, but it's the same form factor as RG58 and uses the same ends. It's just a much better quality RG58. So double shielded, silver plated shield, silver plated center conductor, and everything stranded. So anyway, so I'll be hooking this up, not the LMR 400. Here's the power cable, and I'll show you where that hooks up a little bit later. The manual, because heck man, I barely remember how to use this radio a month after using it last. So you know, lots of features like the crossband repeater that requires you to hold a certain combination of buttons while you're pushing the power button. Yeah. Anyway, throw that to the side. This is an external speaker that plugs into the back of the radio for when I want this under the back seat. You're not going to hear the speaker and this is long enough to run up to like the driver's seat or the center console. All right, I'm not going to use it here. The Kenwood microphone, and again, this is like a it's actually a PS2 keyboard electrically. And then here was the female to female connector. That allowed me to connect this with the LMR 400. And I learned my lesson about getting these plugs. I ordered some coax from MFJ when they were still in business, and the connector, whoever delivered it, like shipped it FedEx or UPS, they ran over this with a forklift and crushed it. And I figured I could do the same thing, maybe not with a forklift, but so just in case, I ordered these plugs to keep these things nice and circular. All right, here is the radio head. Just keep it wrapped in some of this rubber sheet that you like put in the bottom of tool trays or silverware drawers. And this is the Ethernet cable that allows me to put the head in my window and then run it to a connector down by my left knee. This is just the right length, so keep that in here too, and we'll use it today. So I'm just kind of move you guys up a little bit. So I'll get the RAM mount set up. And then this X mount's really easy. There you go. Done. All right. And let's move you guys over here for a second. And maybe zoom you in. So again, the bottom is going to be the panel connection, the head, if you will, radio head. All right, the other one is the microphone. All right, now before you put power on this, I'm just going to start the fan up. You're going to want to take off the end caps, or at least the end cap on the side with the fan on, so you don't burn up the fan. All right, and then let me zoom you back out. the power cable. I'm going to pretend like I'm going to close the lid, but I'm not. So I'm going to run it through the air vent. All right. And then let me get this hooked up, because then I'm going to have to move you guys. Don't want to have to move you back and forth. I try to minimize that as much as possible. So not sure why I had the right angle on here, but so actually I'm going to switch where this TNC to Type N converter goes. I'm going to put it on the other end. Let's see if this configuration works better. So I don't have the right angle here. And then more importantly, well, maybe not more importantly, but let me get you guys reconfigured here. Had to move you guys a little bit. So this is the coax that runs up to the antenna. Actually runs to a patch panel, and then through a patch cable runs through an antenna. It's a nice little waterproof connector. And then I'm going to try the right angle here so it's not coming out and putting strain on the cable. So we'll try that instead. All right. I'm already liking that a lot better than the way I had it. And then this is the power pole connection. And this thing is some PVC where I keep my antennas. I already have the antenna I'm going to use out, so I'm not going to show you guys that. But yeah, with this plumbing PVC, you got to be careful and not tighten this down too much. Just go to the point where it starts snugging, and that's it. If you tighten it too much, you may need a wrench to get this off, because plumbing threads are tapered, and so they kind of get exponentially tighter instead of just like proportionally tighter the more you turn. Yeah, so it just needs to be just slightly snug, and there's enough friction to keep it from backing out. All right. All right, before I actually turn this thing on, I'm going to go get the antenna hooked up just in case it wants to transmit when I turn it on. I think hopefully you can hear the fan running. All right, before I get too far, I've got two coax lines, RG400. One's running to that connector. The other one's just not doing anything right now. My plan was to put like a CV ball mount on that side, and I haven't done it yet. So all this runs up through some bulkhead connectors on the back of the cab, including the power, and comes back here. So this is the battery. The battery is lithium iron phosphate, two 50 amp hour batteries parallel together and charged via the Red Arc DC to DC charger and solar charge controller. But the coax, and I'll probably take you guys out of the tripod here so I can show you better. So the coax, all the coax in the truck runs to a patch panel, and this is just screwed via machine screws to the plastic back here. The left side here is kind of like the source. You know, this is where the radios are hooked up. My console, this would be the bed of the truck, and then this is just some free, I don't have it marked, it's just some loose coax I can run anywhere. So I can have like an HT walkie-talkie plugged into this if I want to, or another radio. The right side of this are the antennas. So this runs to the top, this runs to the left front fender for my CV antenna, and then this runs to the right rear quarter panel. And then I've got these patch cables. Looks like I just got 2 of them. That's all I need right now. And it is set up correctly. I've got patch cable running from the bed, truck bed, where I've got the radio hooked up right now, and that patch cable is running to the top of the vehicle. All right, what I don't have hooked up is the antenna. Ooh, yellow jacket. So this is an NMO mount with an NMO weather cap. And I don't know if you can see the slime, but that's dielectric grease so that you don't tear up the O-ring when you spin these things on. And you can tell the dielectric grease gets everywhere and starts attracting dirt, and you get a nice dirt ring around it. But all right, I'm gonna put this in my usual spot for safekeeping. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on, and then I've got the B side listening to the local NOAA weather station.
59. Once again at 2 p.m. at the Dayton International Airport, it was 57 degrees under partly sunny skies. Now looking at the weather patterns affecting the southern Great Lakes and Ohio Valley region. A few light rain showers will be possible south of the Ohio River through Tuesday as low pressure passes.
All right, I'm gonna turn that down. And this is in VFO mode, so I get to set the frequency manually. Go into memory, my memory channels. All right, guys, I'm just gonna give this radio a quick test. Had to go look something up really quick. So here we go. Testing a new radio configuration at 10 watts. Out.
Repeater, good afternoon. The time is 3:01 p.m.
All right, well, at least I keyed up the repeater, but oh, I'm just looking at something on the screen, guys. Wasn't familiar with some of the things on my own phone here. So I'd already tested this on a simplex frequency, which is just radio to radio without a repeater in between. So I think I'm good to go. Yeah, so guys, this is pretty much the end of this project. Yeah, quite a bit of coax. In the future, I might change at least from here all the way to the antenna patch panel with something bigger like RG213 or 214 or LMR 400. The thing I kind of stopped the video for to go look up was the attenuation on the RG400. So it's about at this frequency, at that frequency, VHF, amateur band, this cable's about 3.3 dB per 100 foot of attenuation. I just rounded all this run length up to about 25 feet. So you're figuring about just under 1 dB of attenuation. For UHF, that's about 9 dB per 100 feet, or that's about 2.25 dB. So not quite half the power being lost in attenuation at UHF. So not bad, but not great. It's certainly not bad enough for me to like run right out and make those changes. But maybe just a future project if I'm bored. So some other things I'm thinking about is, you know, digital modes. So getting something like a digi-rig in here that I can hook up to something like a DigiPi, which I just learned about. Yeah, I've been out of radio for a bit, so I'm kind of unsure about all the new stuff that's out there. But anyway, there's a lot you can do now just by keying up the mic and making the smartphone make beep and squeaks over the speaker. Signal noise ratio is not as good as just hooking everything up with wires and making it work, but it would work in a pinch. So yeah, I can see maybe adding some digital things to this box, which is basically just a little unit that would plug into the radio connections back here, and then having an external laptop to drive it all. But I just wanted to get the basic radio project done so I can start using it again. Yeah, and I've got a TM-V710 that I could just have installed under the seat or something, but I like the idea of being able to take this radio wherever I go. So being able to put it in my truck, have it out on a picnic table, whatever, and being able to pack everything up so it's in one nice case. So, all right, I think that's it, guys. I'm gonna go cut the video.